Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers, because the shirt says so. Hope you're having a good day, and we're going to talk about international investing today. Typically not very exciting, and I know a lot of people, Dave Ramsey and everybody likes to include international. It acts as kind of a drag or a little bit of a parachute, if you will, on your total investments, meaning it takes out some of the volatility, but it's really a tough place to invest long term. But there's a lot changing right now. If you look at the world market minus the U.S., right? So everybody else besides the U.S., we're just about to break out to new highs. There's been this incredible rally. And so it sparked us to kind of say, well, let's look through the different countries and see what's going on. And I'm just going to roughly kind of share that with you here today. All right, let's get this up in the screen a little bit better so you can see. And what I'm going to do is just start with the G7, right? We had a lot of talk about that here. G7 minus the U.S. Let's take a look. Here's Canada in its local currency. These are total returns in its local currency there. So you got Canada, I could argue very extended here, but at highs, almost like a rocket ship, very much S&P looking there. If we look at France, and then we'll add them all on the screen for you. France breaking to new highs here. The last rally from the COVID lows there. Really impressive. France doing well over there, helping international funds. Germany kind of looks similar here, not as far, but in its local currency, up 67% there, just looking back to like last 10 years or so. So not bad there. And Japan really kind of looks the same as everything else. So you got Japan at new highs as well. Touch more volatile in Japan if you're familiar with investing over there. Okay, so that's that one. The only one that kind of sticks out in its, again, local currency here is Italy. It hasn't broken out to new highs. In the short term here, a little bit extended, parabolic, things like that. You might want to use those terms. But still, all across the board, when we're looking at the G7 here, not too bad, right? We're looking pretty good. Oh, did I put in the UK? Let's get rid of them real quick. The UK lagging behind just a little bit as well, right? There you go. So we got the UK would be the laggard of the group there. Again, in its local currency, that's the performance as if you were in their markets doing that. Now, if we look a little bit further towards emerging markets, you can disagree with what's called emerging markets and what's not. Take a look at Brazil. Brazil sitting at new highs here. Any fund that includes a lot of these countries, many of them do, doing well. If you're an emerging markets type investor, you're very happy, right? Because you got Russia, despite all the nonsense going on over there, we're sitting at new highs. They're killing it. Everything looking good with them. India, supposedly having all these issues with COVID and had that second round of sort of a blast off there in cases. Doesn't matter. Stock market doing well, looking good over there. And then China, a lot of people argue that this shouldn't be considered emerging markets, but China looking good as well. Got a long-term uptrend there, and you know, it's the only one of what you would call the BRICS that's not sitting at new highs. Nonetheless, still looking pretty good. So what do you do if you're someone that wants to invest in this stuff? You want to use ETFs. How do we go about doing this? Well, thankfully, there's an ETF for everything, and I'm just going to kind of go through one by one here. Let's take a look. So I'll go over to, let's start with China. So let's bring this down so you can see what's going on. Here's a ticker symbol in the top left corner of your page there. So similar performance, you're going to see the same looking thing there. I'm just zoomed into 1 year versus any 10-year on the previous charts there. You've got ASHR, China A shares is what it's called there if you want to take a look at that. CWI, oops, there you go. CWI is if you can look at the All Country World Index. Remember a minute ago I mentioned that everything was sitting near highs, ready to break out, take out the U.S. This is a picture of that. That's one way to participate. If you say, I don't know what country to invest in, I'll take them all. CWI is one way to do that. Emerging markets, most popular is EEM. In fact, a lot of the popular ETFs are going to be what's known as iShares. That's just the brand or the company. It's owned by BlackRock, so if you want to take a look at that. EEM is a way to do emerging markets. EWC is going to be Canada. You can see the performance there. Nice, tight uptrend, everything looking good. EWG, can you guess it? Germany. So EWG, if you like that on a pullback or something you want to look at there, you can. Italy is EWI, of course, and Japan, you might guess, would be EWJ. These are all the iShare ones, and they come up because they're the most liquid, they're the most popular, and things like that. France is a little different. EWK is going to be the ticker symbol for that one, and the United Kingdom is EWU. So if you're looking to incorporate some of these in different variations into your portfolios, that's somewhere you can look. India, I always think is interesting. PIN is a different brand, by the way, but India is PIN, very strong. Just recently breaking out of a really quiet Amazon-ish looking range, right, from 2021 all the way through the beginning of the summertime, waking back up, and that's largely because of the virus cases. They're doing better, thank goodness. All right, Eurozone, you can look at FEZ. There you go. FEZ is a ticker symbol, and EWZ is Brazil. So you got the latest pullback there for EWZ. And that's just a few different ways to look at incorporating those ETFs. Maybe you're building a portfolio and you're saying, I'd like to incorporate some international type stocks in there, but I don't know. I don't want to go look, Alibaba was obvious for China and things, but you don't know like what's going on in France and Russia and things like that. Well, you could skip all that and go directly to the ETF, or you could go to the ETF. For example, you might be using like EWZ, right? You might say, okay, I don't know that I want to be in the EWZ. Could I go look for stocks that are held inside of that? And that'll give you an idea of some of the stocks that they're investing in, and maybe that gives you somewhere to go. Well, I hope that helps. That's a different way of looking at things here, something we don't always cover, but we manage our own portfolios here, and so we're always looking at that type of data, and there's this disconnect between like what I want to share, but staying on message with like retirement and long-term planning and stuff. We like to do a little bit of everything here to help you get your dough straight. So enjoy the rest of your day, and if you want to check out our live shows, 5 o'clock Eastern time on YouTube there, the closing beat is what we do. Come check it out and enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, would you hit the subscribe button? I'm supposed to ask you that. Really appreciate it. Thank you.